So we are back. Today we are going to start with a topic called vectors. So first we need to have an understanding about vectors. So what will happen first is let us have an idea of what we are going to be looking at. So to begin with, we would say we are dealing with vectors. First of all, we are going to deal with directions. We are going to look at directions. Then we are also going to look at directions, and we are going to also to look at the points. We are going to consider the points when we are dealing with vectors. So what is it all about? So it's like we are moving from one point. For instance, let me draw a triangle to give a scenario of what was going to be happening. So we have A there, we have B and C there. So for instance, if I put another point there, then I put let me put D. So if they say, let me make this O as O. So OA, meaning the direction is looking at that one, then OC, the direction is this side by that. So for instance, if they ask us to find SC in vectors, specifically we are finding a route, we want to move from A to C without using the same route here. So we need to use any other route apart from using this one. So for instance, if we are given 2A here, then here we have, let me say, O 3B. So we need to move from A to O, then from O to C. That's how we are going to move. Or apart from moving like that, we can move from A to B, then from B to C. So we need to find ourselves at point C. That is all about vectors. Then we need also to consider the directions. So if we are moving against the arrow, if we are moving against an arrow, if we are moving against an arrow, that direction we get it as a negative. But if we are moving towards the arrow there, then we are getting it as a positive. This is what we also need to consider, as well as the final answer in vectors. The first value, it shouldn't have a negative, but if it has a negative, then we have to swap them. The first one, it will be the second, then the second will be the last. It will be the first, sorry. So now, to begin with, for instance, we have this one. For us to find AB, to find AC, meaning we have to move from A to O, then from O to C. So already this one, this distance here, we are going to consider it as a negative. So meaning it will be a negative OA, because the arrow is facing this side. So from O to C, meaning the distance there from there to there, it will be a positive, because we are moving from O to C. So as we are moving towards the arrow, it is a positive. If we are moving against the arrow, it is a negative. That is briefly about vectors. So to begin with, we have a 2017 question 2B, and it reads, in the diagram below, vector OP is equals to 2P, and vector OQ is equals to 4Q, and PX to XQ is equals to 1 to 2. This is the diagram that we are given, and they have told us to say, number 1 is saying express express in terms of P and slash or B. Express in terms of P slash or Q. So this is the question that we have. So the first question is saying, question A is saying find vector PQ. So which is our A there? So how do you think we are going to find vector PQ? So PQ, which is this one. So it's very important for you to give these directions, because when you leave out this arrow, it's no longer a meaning. It doesn't have a meaning. So meaning here, it is implying that you are moving from P going at Q. So our P is here, we are at P here. So we are going this side. That's what is happening right now. So we have this question. So how do you think we are going to move? Okay, so if we want to find vector PQ, we are going to move from P. We can't use this one. We can use PC, then CQ. It is possible. Again, we can use PO, then OQ. It is possible. Now, the question is, if we were to use PC and CQ, do we have the values here? No, we don't. So it will be difficult for us to find or to use this route. So definitely we are going to use the route that is well known, which is PO, then OQ. So we are going to say vector PO, which is a negative. So I'm going to say negative PO, which is a vector, plus there, then this one OQ. So I'll put OQ there, which is a vector. So from there now, what is the value? What are the values which are there? So here we are going to put what is on PO. PO, we have a 2P. So it will be negative 2P there. Plus. Then next, what is on OQ? OQ, it is 4Q. There, we have it. Now, as we said earlier on, to say, under vectors, we do not want an answer to leave us in a negative. So, therefore, we are going to exchange. This one will be this side, this one will be this side. So, we are going to have 4Q minus, we are going to get them with their signs, minus 2P there. This is the answer for the first question. Question B. Question B, they are asking us to find Px. We are finding vector Px. Now, where is Px? Px is from there to there. Px is from there to there. Then, we are given ratios there. So, we are given ratios here, which is saying Px is equal to 1. So, meaning that on Px here, there is 1. Then, on xq, there is 2. Here, Px, it is here, 1. Xq, it is this 2. So, meaning that when we add this Px and the Qx, the total number, the total line here, it will be a 3. So, the total line here, it will be a 3. We will say this is a 3. That is the total line, which is PQ. So, what are we going to say? Px, since we are just dealing with Px, we just want Px. So we are going to say that, I'm going to say, since there are two lines here, which is Px and Xq, and we want Px, so I'm going to get this one. So knowing that the direction here is facing this side. The direction now is facing this side. Reason being, we've used this route. So now we have found Px, meaning the arrow is facing this side. So now we are going this side. So, which is Px. Px, so we are going to say it's 1 out of 3, which is the total. The total, so we've added 1 plus 2, which is the 3 there. Then since we've gotten this 1 out of the total number, which is 3 there. 1 of 3 there. Now, this 1 of 3, in which line are they lying? They are lying in PQ. So I'm going to put vector PQ there, like that. As it is not enough, we are going to say that 1 over 3 there, PQ, what did we find on PQ? On PQ, so we are going to get the same answer we found here. We are going to say, okay, which is 4Q minus 2P. There, we have it there. Then, after that, now we distribute this 1 over 3 to what is in the brackets there. So, we are going to say 1 times that, we have 4Q over 3. Then, 1 over 3 times 2P times negative 2P, we have a negative 2P over 3. There, we know that we cannot subtract these or we can't add these. So, we end there for question B. Then question C. Question